Hello student, have a pleasant morning to one you all. I, at Shivaji Group of Institutions, welcome you all on a video lecture class. My dear student, we will continue the language portion and we have started it from yesterday. So, yesterday I have taught you what are the prescribed syllabus in English language. I told you different topics, name of the topics that are prescribed in your syllabus and what are the things that are about to come in your first term examination. So student, your writing composition is very important that because all the things that are included in the writing portion, all things will come in your first term examination. Just like the first one is writing composition, it means composition portion will come in your examination, and the second one your letter, and the third one your message and email writing. Okay, and the fourth one, that is the unseen passage. So unseen passage is not a difficult task to do because unseen passage is such type of the passage that you have not seen before. So you have to read that passage immediately and you have to give the answer. For that you just need the practice, and for writing composition you also require practice. If you start writing from today or from tomorrow, you will improve your writing portion. So I'm just here to give you some guidelines and some important tips so that you may write an impressive composition. Fine. So yesterday I told you some important points of composition, but some more are left. Today I am going to deliver you. So if we talk about the composition, so it must be relevant and to the point. So you must write the things according to the point. You should not exaggerate the things. You should not give your hyperbolic explanation. You should not include your philosophy to that content, to that subject matter. Okay, so you have to keep this thing into your mind. If you want to write an impressive composition, a good composition, so it must be relevant and to the point. The sentence must be to the point. Your matter should be to the point. It should not be exceed more than this. It should not be beyond the imagination or beyond the limit or beyond the expectation. Fine. So this is the first point that I am going to deliver. And the second one is be polite and courteous in your attitude. So whenever you are going to write a composition, it doesn't matter which type of the composition you are going to write, because these are 5 types. So I'll elaborate you. Letter, be polite. So whenever you are going to write, just be polite, be humble. You should not be so rude. You should not be so strict whenever you are going to write a composition. And you should be courteous in your attitude. Polite and courteous, same thing. So you should be humble, you should be simple. It means to say you have to use simple language. Your thoughts should be something flexible. The meaning of this one is that your thought should be something flexible, and you must be flexible whenever you are going to write a composition. You should not be rigid at that time. You should not be rude at that time, because your thoughts reflect your personality. Your thoughts, your experience reflect your personality. Which type of the sentences is written by you, it reflects your personality. It's a symbol of your personality. Fine. So you should be polite towards your thought. You should be courteous towards your thought. You should have a simple language, and that language will be logically connected. Fine. And the third point, be objective and logical. So student, you are seeing here that each and every sentence is started B. This one, and this one. Fine. So because I am teaching you language, so I am asking you which type of the sentences are written over here. Because these are 10 or 12 sentences are written over here for telling you the important tips for writing a composition. So the first one is started with B, the second one and the third one. So which type of the sentences are these? So if we talk about the sentences, so this one, and this one, these are started with your main verb because be is your main verb. Be is your main verb, just like be, became, become. Okay. So all the helping verbs and auxiliaries verb, it means is, are, am, was, were. These are the words that are the family member of this one. That are the family member of this one. So if your sentence is started with your main verb, if your sentence is started with your main verb, so which type of the sentence is this? So the particular sentence is imperative sentence because imperative sentences are always started with your main verb. And these all sentences are started with your main verb. All sentences. I am not talking about only be and be. I am talking about all the sentences. Here use is written. Here avoid, don't, avoid, revise. Okay. And this one check and this one don't. So all the sentences which are written over here, these all sentences are imperative sentences because imperative sentences are always started with your main verb. So be is your main verb. Fine. And one more thing I just want to include here, that through these sentences, I just want to give you a message. I just want to advise you something. I just want to give you some tips of writing a composition. So you know people, you know students, that an imperative sentences is imperative sentences are such type of the sentences in which we give advice to someone, in which we suggest to someone, in which we give a piece of advice, suggestion and order and urge. These things are included in imperative sentences. So this sense is find over here. You can find the sense on this one because ultimately I am going to advise you. I am going to deliver you some tips. I am imparting you some suggestions, some notion of writing a good composition. I hope so that you have got it. Now, be objective and logical. You should not be subjective. What does mean? What is the difference between subjective and objective? Subjective and objective. Suppose that you are going to write a poetry. Okay, so this is the part of the poetry. This is the classification of the poetry. This is the subjective poetry. This is the objective poetry. So subjective poetry is such type of the poetry in which a poet writes about himself. He talks about himself in the subjective poetry. That is the subjective one because he is just revealing the experience of himself. He is giving something about himself. That is, and in the prose portion you can say it's autobiography. In the prose portion, in the short story portion. But in the poetry portion, because poetry is a collection of poems, so in the subjective thing, we just give our own experiences, we just reveal our own experiences, our own ideas, own opinion, own thoughts. We include that thing. But whenever we talk about the objective, we don't think about oneself. We don't include our philosophy, don't include our own thoughts. That is the objectivity. Sometimes we are saying that there must be objectivity. There must be objectivity and reliability in the things. So, objectivity and reliability. So, there must be these things. And logically connect. It should not be illogical. Logically connected. The sentences must be logically connected and there must be objectivity in the sentence. It should not be subjective. Subjective means you are just going to imparting your own philosophy, this type of the person you are, and you are just going to add your own experiences. So you should not do like this. It depends upon the incident or the event. If the question is that, if the topic is that give your own experiences on that side, so you can express your this thing. But if the topic is not relevant to this one, you should not include your own experiences and own philosophy. You can include your experience, but don't give your own philosophy. That is the worst idea. Fine. Now the next one, use simple and colloquial language. So you have to use a simple language, a simple sentences, and there must be lucidity in the thoughts. There should be flexibility in the thoughts. The language should not be so rigid. This language should not be so difficult and hard. It should be polite. It should be courteous. It should be easily understandable like this. It should not be so hard, because you people think that if you write a hard language, a difficult language, so when your composition will be good. No, it's not. It doesn't matter. You can write simple sentences in a simple language, but it should be relevant to the topic. Fine. Now the next one, avoid writing very long sentences. This is the point that you have to be noted, that avoid long sentences. Some students start writing very long sentences. They are in a complex and compound sentences, and they think that if I write long sentences, I'll get good marks. It's not so. It's not so, because your sentence must be relevant and it should be to the point. Next one, don't use only one type of the sentence. Here we are also discussing about the imperative sentences. These are imperative. This one is also imperative, because this is started with your. This one is started with main verb, and use is your main verb. This is the first form of the verb. Avoid. Avoid is also main verb, and don't. Here the sentence is in negative form, imperative negative sentence. Okay, that's why don't is used here. Don't use only one type of sentence. Many of the students always do such type of the mistake. They always write only a stative sentence, and they always writing one tense. Don't do like this. Avoid writing such type of the sentences. You have to use different types of the sentences. You have to use all the types of the sentences. It means to say you have to write a stative one, you have to write the negative, you have to write exclamatory, objective, and imperative sentence. Because this thing shows that you are good in language quotient. Ultimately, this is the language quotient, na? So, whenever you include all types of the sentences, it means you are aware of all these types of the sentences. You are aware of all types of the tenses. So, don't use only one tense or only one type of the sentences in writing composition. Okay. Now, avoid using too many facts and figures. So some students are like that. They always try to write different types of the fact. Too many facts. Two. The words two is written over here. This one. Okay. So TOO2. TO2, that is your preposition, but TOO2, that is your adverb. Okay. And when it is used in the sentence, it always gives a negative sense. Whenever TOO2 used in the sentence, that always give a negative sense. Suppose that I'm too poor to buy a car. I'm too tired to move any longer. Fine. I'm too weak to move any longer. Okay. So the thing is that whenever TOO2 is used, so that always gives you a negative sentence. So avoid using too much fact in the sentence and figures in the sentence. Fine. Now revise your composition to remove grammatical mistakes. Okay. So whenever you have completed your composition, you have to do a revision of your sentences. You have to make a revision from beginning to the end for checking if there is any mistakes, whether you have done any mistake in grammar portion. So because ultimately this is the grammar portion. You are writing composition, that is another thing, but it's the grammar portion, so it should be grammatically correct. Now the next one is check your spelling and punctuation. So whenever you are going to check from beginning to the end, whenever you are going to make a revision of your whole composition from beginning to the end, you have to also check your spellings. You have to also check your spelling, whether you have done any spelling mistakes, so you have to do it corrected, fine. And the last one, don't exceed the given word length. So yesterday I taught you the length of 300, 300 and 350. This is the limit of writing a composition, 300 and 350 words. You should not be writing more than this, because it's sufficient in itself, because it will cover I think 3 or 4 pages. 3 pages, it depends upon your handwriting. Okay, so it should not be excess of this, it should not be exceed than this. Okay, so student, this is some important point of writing a composition. I hope so that you have got it very well, and be prepared for it, because composition is very important topic for you. And now I am going to tell you the types of the composition. How many types of the composition that you have to write over here? So let's see. So okay, now composition. Okay, composition. If we talk about this one, so if we talk about this one, so these are classified into 5 types. Number 1, descriptive. Number 1, descriptive, and the second one is narrative, and the second one is narrative. Okay, and the third one is argumentative. Argumentative. Third one, argumentative, and the fourth one, that is the short story. Okay, and fifth one is picture composition. This one is third, this one is fourth, and fifth one. This one is your picture composition. Picture composition. Okay, this one is the types of composition. So let's see that types of composition is classified into 5. The first one is descriptive, second one is narrative, the third one is argumentative, fourth one is short story, and the fifth one is picture composition. Okay. So student, let me talk about it. Which type of the composition is it? So descriptive composition, I told you yesterday which type of the composition. In the descriptive composition, we are talking about a person, a place, or an event or incident, just like your grandfather, your new house, your cell phone, morning walk. This type of the composition is in the category of the descriptive composition. Okay, and whenever we are going to describe about incident, you have to give your personal experience, because in the incident you have to give your personal experience, and whenever you are giving to elaborate something about an object, you have to tell the utility and importance of that particular object. And whenever you are going to describe about a person or a scene or place, you have to share the feeling and the atmosphere of that type. Now, narrative composition. In the narrative composition, you narrate something, event or series. Okay, just like visit to a hill station, a sad experiences of my life. So in this composition, you have to focus that start writing from your own experiences, because you have to narrate the things. You should not add your own philosophy, but you have to add your own experienced experiences. Whatever you experienced, you have add that thing. Okay. Use the past tense to describe the event. Use comparison and contrast to add variety and interest. Don't make philosophical comment. Okay. And in the argumentative composition, this type of composition, we are going to express our views on a topic of general interest. We may be asked to argue a case for and against something. In that case, you have to give your view for and against. And for example, we may write in favor or against the topic. Homework is a burden for student. In order to do so, we need to present our case logically. So this type of the question is homework a burden for a student. So you have to give the points in against of that, in favor of that. Fine. And what are the guidelines that you have to follow whenever you are going to argumentative composition? State your position clear at the outset, that say whether you are in favor of or against the motion, the topic. It means you have to mention both the things. You should not write only in the favor of that one. You cannot write only the against of that one. You have to focus both the things, because it's an argumentative composition. You have to keep the things into your mind. Present your case logically. It should be logically connected. Avoid using vague sentiments. Don't be emotional. Don't be sentimental and nervous, and give your own feelings and expression whenever you are going to arguments. Whenever you are going to write an argumentative composition. Give a balanced view. Okay, you have to give your balanced view. Don't exaggerate the things. Don't give your hyperbolic expression. And the short story, that is, a short story is a fictive or imaginary. It's the logical ordering of the events. Logically, some events are ordered, and it may relate to only one single incident. Only one single incident, and you have to write a short story on that. It must have a proper beginning, middle and end. So proper beginning, you have to start with a proper beginning, then middle, and then at the end. It must have a proper background, a setting, time and place. So you have to start the introduction with a proper background. Whenever you have to start the settings, in the setting you have to write the time and place of happening such event and such incident, and characters, humans or non-humans, and dialogue. Okay, so short story, just like a haunted house, the diamond necklace. So these types of the common topic that comes, just like a haunt. You have to write about a haunted house. So there is a house that is haunted, that is full of ghosts and witches. So you have to write about that. So that is a short story. So you have to start with the beginning and the middle and the end. Fine. And there must be dialogue in the sentences. There must be also dialogue in the sentences. Some guidelines. Introduce conflict in your story. That is the opposition, enmity between two person or one person against a powerful force, society, state. Introduce. You have to introduce a conflict whenever you are going to write a short story, and opposition and enmity between two persons. Then you can write a good short story. Suspense and surprise. There must be two essential parts of writing a short story composition. There must be suspense, there must be surprise, there must be curiosity to come to know. So student, you have seen that whenever we see a movie, fine. So movie is also based on some story. So whenever we are going to start a movie, we people just become curious to come to know that what will happen in next scene. In the same way, whenever we are going to writing a short story composition, there must be suspense, there must be thrill, there must be romance in the story. These are the some essential points of writing a composition. A turn or a twist at the end makes the story interesting. So how can you make your story interesting? There must be turn, there must be some turning point, there must be some terrific change, and there must be some twist. Story, it must be something, a twisted story. It should not be so simple and easy story that there was a hero and heroine, and at the end of the day they both have died or they both have got married, happy ending like this. So it should not be like that. There must be some twist in the story. There must be some turning point in the story, some revolutionary and terrific change in the story. That's why I'm saying that there must be some concealing ideas in the story so that your story may be interesting. Fine. Now the last one is left, that is the picture composition. That is a difficult composition for writing because you have to see a picture, and after observation of that picture, after taking a minute observation of that picture, you have to start writing a picture composition. Okay, so in this type of composition, a picture is given, a particular picture is given. You are either to write a story connected with it, or you are to give an account of what it suggests to you. So you have to see the picture with your minute observation. You have to observe it minutely. Either you have to start writing with a story, or you have to get it connected, that what it wants to suggest you. There are also some guidelines and some points to be remembered for writing a picture composition, just like make a clear connection between the given picture and your account story. Connection should be nice. There should be logically connected. Don't go too far from what is suggested by the picture. You should not be go far away from that picture. Use all the narrative skills to make your account interesting. So your narration, your narrative quality should be so nice that the picture composition would be so interesting. It must be so interesting. So student, this is the description of your writing composition. I told you some important tips for writing composition, and also discussed with you how can you write descriptive, narrative, argumentative, short story, picture composition. So in the writing portion, your one topic is completed, composition. So by tomorrow we will start letter writing because time is very limited. We have to complete it. So from today you have to start writing a composition. These are only some tips for writing a good composition.